class 8. Welcome back in my geography classes. In the last video, we discussed about the topic of water as a resource, what are the factors that are causing water shortages and how to conserve them. Now let us start with a very new topic. Before I start, let me ask you, have you ever visited any exhibition on handicrafts? If you have visited any exhibition on handicrafts, you may have seen that there different type of items are available which are made on jute. There you will get different baskets, lampshades, like different types of handicrafts which are either made from jute or made from bamboo, right? You may have seen there different silk clothes like maybe a sari or a scarf are available which are made from silk. Now you may think that why I am asking you people that did you visited any exhibition on handicrafts or not? Because the handicrafts, that means the products that are obtained from jute or something from silk, the question is from where they come. Jute, silk, from where we get it? We get it from the wildlife and from the natural vegetation. So today our topic is natural vegetation and wildlife. Now what is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation means vegetation or the plants which are grown in the nature naturally without any human aid or human intervention. Natural vegetation is referred as the vegetation or plant community that grows naturally without human aid. That means without human intervention or human help, the vegetation that is grown. Now, natural vegetation, where we will find the natural vegetation? We will find the natural vegetation in this narrow zone. This narrow zone is referred as the biosphere. This is the zone where the land, that is lithosphere, the water, that is hydrosphere, and air, that is atmosphere, where life can exist. Now, you cannot live only on land if there is no water and there is no air. You cannot live on water if you do not have air, and you need land to grow crops, right? And you cannot live only on land and if water is available. You also need air so that you can breathe, you can take oxygen, and also the plants need air so that they can take in carbon dioxide, right? So a living organism can live in those areas where we will get land, water and air. So this is the zone, that is biosphere, where we will get land, water and air. That means the zone of interaction between land, water and air, and where the natural vegetation and wildlife exist. Now the organisms, that means the natural vegetation and wildlife, they exist in a life supporting system that is referred as ecosystem. Now what is ecosystem? Ecosystem means that the relationship and interaction among the organisms or between the organism and their environment living in a specific space, that is referred as ecosystem. So what is a natural vegetation? Vegetation or plant community that grows naturally without human aid. Where they exist in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, where life can exist, which is known as the biosphere. And we can see there is a system or interaction and interrelationship which is among organisms and between organisms and their environment living in a specific space called ecosystem. Now, natural vegetation and wildlife both provide us with so many things which is very much important for a life to sustain. Now let us see what are the usefulness of natural vegetation and wildlife. The usefulness of natural vegetation is that we get timber from the natural vegetation. That means like forest. Forest is natural vegetation. It gives us timber. It provides shelter to animals. The trees, they provide us with oxygen and take in carbon dioxide. They protect soil essentials. The roots bind the soil and thus protect them. The natural vegetation protects soil essentials so that we can grow crops. That means it helps to maintain the fertility of soil. It acts as shelter belt. Already we have learned about shelter belts, that it acts as shelter belt and protect the soil from wind erosion or further soil erosion. It helps in recharge of underground water. The roots of the plants, what they do, they help in soaking of the surface runoff, which helps in the replenishment of the underground water. That is the water table. It provides us with nut, latex, from where we can obtain the rubber, turpentine oil. Different medicinal plants like eucalyptus can be obtained from the natural vegetation, that is from forest, and paper, which are all essential things which we require for the sustenance. Now let us see the usefulness of wildlife. Now wildlife provide us with milk, meat, hide, that means the skin is very important, wool. They provide us with honey. They also help in pollination of flowers. They act as a decomposer. The insects, they act as a decomposer. The birds which feed on insects, they also act as decomposers. The vultures is considered as a vital cleanser of environment. Why? Because the vulture is referred as a scavenger. Why is a scavenger? Because it feeds on dead livestock. In the Indian subcontinent, a lot of vultures are dying because of kidney failure. Now let us know the reason that why the vultures are dying because of kidney failure. The vultures, when they eat the carcasses of animals or human beings, that means when they feed on the dead livestock, those dead livestock are treated with a drug that is referred as diclofenac. It is a sort of aspirin, which is leading to kidney failure of the vultures, and the government is trying to ban this drug so that it can help in the breeding of the vultures. Otherwise there will be no vultures left in the subcontinent if they are constantly dying because of kidney failure. So what are the usefulness of natural vegetation and what are the usefulness of wildlife? I hope all of you understood. So wildlife and natural vegetation both are very important and both provide us with so many things like timber, oxygen. They protect the soil, they recharge groundwater, provide us with latex, nut, milk, meat, honey, help in the pollination of flowers, act as a decomposers. Vultures, which is a very vital cleanser of environment, is also referred as a scavenger. All these are the usefulness of natural vegetation and wildlife. Now let us understand the distribution of natural vegetation. Now let us understand about the distribution of natural vegetation. I already told you the definition of natural vegetation. That means a vegetation or the plant community that grows in the nature naturally without any human help or human intervention. Now the growth of natural vegetation depends on two factors, that is temperature and moisture, or we can say rainfall. So the growth of natural vegetation depends on temperature and rainfall. The natural vegetation occurs as forest, grasslands, shrubs and the tundra. Now let us know about forest. What are forests? Forest means the areas of heavy rainfall. That means the areas which receives heavy rainfall, and due to the heavy rainfall, there we can see that lot of grasses, lot of trees can easily grow. That means the area of heavy rainfall with dense vegetation cover. For example, the Amazon forest. Now the forest is divided depending on when the trees shed their leaves into two types, that is the evergreen forest and the deciduous forest. Evergreen forest means a forest which receives heavy amount of rainfall and where we can see that the trees do not shed their leaves at a particular time. That is why they appear green throughout the year. Coming to the deciduous forest is a type of forest where we will see that it receives moderate or heavy amount of rainfall. Here in evergreen, it receives a rainfall above 200 centimeter. Here in deciduous, it receives rainfall between 200 to 70 centimeter. So this receives rainfall is above 200 centimeter, and this receives rainfall between 200 to 70 centimeter. That is why we can see that here the type of trees which are grown are not similar to the type of trees grown in the evergreen forest. In deciduous forest, we will see that the trees shed their leaves in a particular time. They have a particular dry season when the trees shed their leaves. Now, evergreen forests are again subdivided into tropical evergreen and temperate evergreen, and deciduous forests are again subdivided into tropical deciduous and temperate deciduous. Next are grasslands. What are grasslands? These are the areas where we will see it receives moderate amount of rainfall. Here, the height of the trees are mostly short, that is short stunted, and here mostly the grasses are grows. Here, the grasslands are again divided into temperate and tropical. So the grasslands are again divided into temperate grasslands and tropical grasslands. Here, for example, savanna grasslands. Now coming to the shrubs. Now what are shrubs? This means the type of vegetation that are mostly seen in the dry areas or in the areas where the amount of rainfall is very low. That means in the desert areas, right, or in the arid areas. Here the plants have deep roots and they have small leaves and thorny waxy surfaces. Why? So that it can help to reduce the loss of moisture by the process of evaporation. Now coming to the last type is a tundra type of vegetation. Now tundra means the type of vegetation which mainly grows in the cold polar region. Here mostly trees, grasses cannot grow. What can be grown here? Mosses and lichens. Because this is the zone which is fully covered up with snow most of the years. So here the plant growth is very limited. So here we cannot see any plant growth. Mostly mosses and lichens grows here. Example is Alaska, Greenland, Antarctica. All this have tundra type of vegetation. Hope so all of you understood. This video is divided into two parts. Part 1 and Part 2. In Part 1, we understood about the natural vegetation, wildlife, their usefulness and the distribution of natural vegetation. And in the next part, we will understand about the extinction of the natural vegetation and wildlife. What are the factors that are leading to their extinction, or what are the factors that are leading to the loss of natural vegetation and wildlife, along with the conservation processes which will help to conserve the natural vegetation and wildlife. So you will read the NCERT and follow the video. In the description box, you will find the link along with the PDF of the second video. You can just click on the link and can watch the second video. That is a part 2 of the same topic. Till then, read your NCERT. If you have any problem or any suggestion, you can comment in the comment box. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to my channel, do subscribe my channel and also hit the bell icon for the notification of my recent videos. Till then, take care and stay safe and watch the next video.